The Champions League quarterfinals are finally here, and on Footballers, we're going to be previewing all the ties starting with Barcelona versus Dortmund. In this video, I'll be talking you through how each club's season has gone so far, some of the key players, and who I think will ultimately win the tie. I promise I'm going to be fair and make an argument for both sides. First, we're going to talk about Dortmund's season. Now, to put it lightly, they definitely haven't been at their best. I made a video a couple months ago about how bad their season has been, so for a more in-depth review, you should go check that out. But basically, to sum it all up, for the longest time, they've been selling their promising young stars for profit. And that works as long as you can continue to replace them well, but lately they just haven't been doing that. While they've made a couple of decent signings, for the most part their players just aren't of that star quality, and as they keep selling their best players, the squad just gets worse and worse. And this wasn't helped by the gamble of giving the inexperienced manager Nuri Sahin the reins this season. It didn't pan out with them, and now they have Niko Kovac at the helm. He has been a step up from Sahin, but Dortmund just still haven't been good enough lately. As for Barcelona, it's been pretty much the opposite for them. Hansi Flick was a genius replacement for Xavi, and Barcelona have been flying high pretty much the entire season. They've been able to record massive wins against strong opposition like this thrashing of Bayern Munich, and of course their amazing El Clasico victories as well. Their downfall has been dropping points in games they should have won against the likes of Leganes and Las Palmas. Again, if you want a more in-depth look at Barcelona, I have a couple videos dedicated to them, so check those out, but that's pretty much the rundown. Now we're going to get to the key players in this tie. Well, as I was writing this video, I had Nico Schlotterbeck as Dortmund's key player for the tie. He's a great defender who pretty much runs the entire back line and plays out from the back superbly. But today I just read the news that he's now injured for the rest of the season. So my new key players for Dortmund are going to be Emre Can, Serhou Guirassy, Felix Emecha, Maxi Bayer, and Karim Adeyemi. Can is Dortmund's captain, and he's going to have to really step it up in Schlotterbeck's absence. On his day, he could be a rock at the back, and he's going to have to really be on his day. He's going to have to be on his month to handle Barcelona's front three. As for Guirassy, it's pretty self-explanatory why I would mention him. He's their top scorer, and he has 10 goals already in the Champions League this season. Felix Emecha as well has been pretty much Dortmund's best midfielder this season. And as they've just got him back from injury, he's going to need to start in both legs if Dortmund want to get anything out of this tie. Maxi Bayer is a bit of a dark horse, but he's hit a good run of form lately, scoring twice in their recent 3-1 win against a great Mainz side, who are basically the Bundesliga's answer to Nottingham Forest this season. They're way overperforming. And Adeyemi is the kind of player that's extremely inconsistent, but he can manage moments of brilliance like this amazing goal he just scored against Lille. Dortmund are going to need one of these magic moments if they're going to have any hope of winning this tie. For Barcelona, who isn't a key player for them basically, everyone knows how amazing the front three of Raphinha, Yamal, and Lewandowski are, but I'm going to give a special shout out to Lewandowski, who loves playing against his former club, Dortmund. He has 27 goals in 27 games against them, and he literally hasn't scored more goals against any other team. As if losing him on a free transfer wasn't enough misery for Dortmund fans, he now has a personal agenda against them to score as many goals as possible, and just drive the fans into more and more misery. Definitely expect Lewandowski to score at least one goal across this tie. Dani Olmo was in doubt for this tie, but it looks like he'll be playing in the second leg, which is going to be huge for Barcelona. Pedri has been Barcelona's unsung hero this entire season. He completely runs the midfield, and he's basically just a regen of Xavi and Iniesta. Inigo Martinez, after picking up an injury, will be back to lead the defense, and Szczesny in goal still hasn't lost a game with Barcelona. It's looking pretty scary. So now we come to the main point of this video, who's gonna win? Again, I'm gonna be fair and I'm gonna make a case for both teams. Let's start with the easiest case to make, Barcelona going through. Any sensible individual looking at this matchup kind of knows that Barcelona are gonna beat Dortmund. They're simply on fire, they're such a complete team, and Hansi Flick has beaten Dortmund every single time he's faced them as a manager. Also addressing the elephant in the room here, Dortmund and Barca already played earlier in the season, and Barcelona won 3-2 away from home. If we just go through and match these two sides up player by player, Barcelona's front three absolutely decimates Dortmund's attacking line. In midfield, it's not even close. At the back with Schlotterbeck, it would have been a different conversation, but since he's out, Barcelona definitely have the way better defense. The only way Dortmund really matches up with Barcelona is in goal, with Kobel being a pretty solid match to Szczesny, though I'd still slightly favor the Polish goalkeeper. Also, if you look at the history of the Champions League, there are just some legendary teams where you know they're destined to win the competition. Think of Barcelona in 2015, think of Bayern Munich in 2020. And who was their manager in his first season at the club? Hansi Flick. Honestly, this Barcelona team just seems destined to win the trophy, and Dortmund are definitely the weakest obstacle they have standing in front of them. Okay, now I'm going to really try and make a case for Dortmund. First of all, the most important thing to remember is that upsets happen. And upsets have happened really recently for this Dortmund team. Last season, practically nobody expected them to go through against Atletico Madrid or PSG, and they went through against both. Also, Dortmund aren't that bad of a side. Sure, they're underperforming, but they've still shown promise in the Champions League this season. They got through against two tough sides, Sporting and Lille, despite their poor league form. Are Sporting and Lille as good as Barcelona? No, but it still shows that their league form doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to play as badly in the Champions League. Also, they're on a pretty solid 2-game run right now, while Barcelona just drew at home against Real Betis. And I think we can all agree that Betis are on a pretty similar level to Dortmund, if not slightly worse. Am I saying that I think Dortmund is going to smash Barcelona 5-0? No, but I am saying that I think they can get a draw in the first leg, and then a narrow victory at home in the second leg. Alright, now that I've made my cases, what do I actually see happening? Well, I honestly think, like the title and thumbnail say, that this is going to be pretty ugly for Dortmund. I expect Barcelona to pretty much destroy them at home like they did to Bayern Munich. I think at Dortmund's ground it might be a much tougher game, maybe a draw, but by then it's not going to even matter. I truly think this is Barcelona's season and Lamine Yamal's year, and I think if any team is going to stop Barcelona, it'll be Bayern or Inter in the semis, or Arsenal, Real, or PSG, or even Aston Villa in the final, before it's going to be Dortmund right now. I've got 3-0 in the first leg, and then 2-2 in the second leg. But let me know your thoughts on what you think about this tie. Is it just going to be an easy win for Barcelona, or are Dortmund going to surpass all our expectations? Let me know in the comments below, and I'd like to hear your score predictions as well. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe to Footballers for more videos like this one.